reference to 370.3 WP connectors and meter boxes likely pertains to electrical code requirements for the type and installation of electrical connectors used in meter boxes. 370.3 of the National Electrical Code, NEC, addresses overcurrent protection of conductors. Specifically, it requires electrical connections and splices to be made and insulated using connectors or devices that are approved for the specific application, including those in meter boxes. WP likely stands for weatherproof. These are special connectors designed to protect electrical connections from moisture, dirt, and other environmental factors. They are typically used in outdoor applications, such as meter boxes located on the exterior of a building. Meter boxes are enclosures that house electrical equipment such as meters, circuit breakers, and fuses. They are typically located on the exterior of a building, often mounted on a wall or near the electrical service entrance. The inspector's rejection note indicates that the electrical connectors used in the meter boxes did not meet the requirements of NEC 370.3. This could be due to the use of incorrect connector types, improper installation, or other non-compliant practices. To address this issue, it is necessary to review the electrical installation and replace or correct any faulty connectors or splices to comply with the applicable electrical codes. Therefore, to elaborate more on weatherproof connectors, it's important to understand what makes them suitable for outdoor use and why the NEC mandates their use in specific locations. Weatherproof connectors are designed with several key features to protect electrical connections from the elements. Firstly, they often incorporate a gasket or O-ring to create a watertight seal between the connector and the enclosure or conduit it's attached to. This prevents moisture from entering the connection point and causing corrosion or short circuits. Secondly, many weatherproof connectors are constructed from materials that are resistant to corrosion, such as stainless steel, brass, or non-metallic polymers. This ensures that the connector itself won't degrade over time due to exposure to moisture, chemicals, or ultraviolet radiation. Thirdly, weatherproof connectors are often designed with a robust housing that can withstand physical impacts and protect the electrical connection from damage. This is especially important in outdoor environments where connectors may be exposed to accidental bumps, vibrations, or extreme weather conditions. Regarding meter boxes, it is essential to know the function of a meter box. Meter boxes serve as the central point for measuring and distributing electrical power to a building. They typically house the electric meter, which measures the amount of electricity consumed by the building, as well as circuit breakers or fuses that protect the electrical circuits within the building. Meter boxes are typically located outdoors so that the utility company can easily access the meter for reading and maintenance purposes. Due to their outdoor location, meter boxes are exposed to a wide range of environmental conditions, including rain, snow, sunlight, and temperature fluctuations. Therefore, it's crucial that all electrical connections within the meter box are protected from moisture and corrosion to ensure reliable and safe operation. National Electrical Code Section 370.3 plays a vital role in ensuring electrical safety and preventing hazards in meter boxes and other electrical installations. The NEC is a set of standards and guidelines developed by the National Fire Protection Association (NFPA) to promote the safe installation and use of electrical equipment. The NEC is widely adopted by state and local jurisdictions throughout the United States, and compliance with its requirements is often mandatory for electrical contractors and installers. NEC Section 370.3 specifically addresses the overcurrent protection of conductors, which is a critical aspect of electrical safety. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to interrupt the flow of electricity in the event of a fault or overload, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of electrical fires. NEC Section 370.3 requires that all electrical connections and splices be made and insulated using connectors or devices that are approved for the specific application. This means that the connectors used in meter boxes must be listed and labeled for use in wet locations and must be properly installed to maintain their weatherproof rating. The NEC also specifies requirements for the size and type of conductors used in meter boxes, as well as the proper grounding and bonding of electrical equipment. These requirements are designed to minimize the risk of electric shock and ensure that the electrical system is properly protected from overcurrents and faults. When an electrical inspector cites a violation of NEC Section 370.3, it indicates that the electrical installation does not meet the minimum safety standards required by the NEC. In this case, the inspector's rejection note indicates that the electrical connectors used in the meter boxes were not compliant with NEC Section 370.3. This could be due to several factors, including the use of incorrect connector types, improper installation techniques, or damaged or deteriorated connectors. To address this issue, it is necessary to conduct a thorough inspection of the electrical installation to identify all non-compliant connectors. Any faulty connectors or splices should be replaced with connectors that are listed and labeled for use in wet locations and are properly installed according to the manufacturer's instructions. It's also important to verify that the conductors used in the meter boxes are of the correct size and type and that the electrical equipment is properly grounded and bonded. By addressing these issues and ensuring compliance with NEC Section 370.3, you can improve the safety and reliability of the electrical system and prevent potential hazards. When you encounter a rejection from an electrical inspector, the first step is to carefully review the rejection note and identify the specific code section that was cited. In this case, the inspector cited NEC Section 370.3, which addresses the overcurrent protection of conductors. Once you have identified the code section, the next step is to research the requirements of that section and understand what is required for compliance. You can consult the NEC handbook or other reference materials to get a better understanding of the code requirements. Next, conduct a thorough inspection of the electrical installation to identify any non-compliant components or practices. Pay close attention to the electrical connectors used in the meter boxes, as this was the specific issue cited by the inspector. Check to see if the connectors are listed and labeled for use in wet locations and are properly installed according to the manufacturer's instructions. Next, replace any faulty connectors or splices with connectors that are listed and labeled for use in wet locations and are properly installed according to the manufacturer's instructions. Ensure that the conductors used in the meter boxes are of the correct size and type and that the electrical equipment is properly grounded and bonded. After making the necessary corrections, schedule a re-inspection with the electrical inspector to verify that the installation now meets the requirements of the NEC. Be prepared to provide documentation such as product listings and installation instructions to demonstrate compliance with the code. Here are some additional tips for working with weatherproof connectors. Firstly, always use connectors that are listed and labeled for use in wet locations. These connectors are designed to withstand exposure to moisture and other environmental factors and will provide a reliable and safe electrical connection. Secondly, follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully when installing weatherproof connectors. Proper installation is essential to ensure that the connector maintains its weatherproof rating and provides a secure electrical connection. Thirdly, inspect weatherproof connectors regularly for signs of damage or deterioration. If you notice any cracks, corrosion, or other issues, replace the connector immediately to prevent potential hazards. Fourthly, use a torque wrench to tighten weatherproof connectors to the specified torque. Over-tightening can damage the connector and compromise its weatherproof rating, while under-tightening can result in a loose connection and potential electrical problems. Lastly, apply a dielectric grease or sealant to the threads of weatherproof connectors to further enhance their resistance to moisture and corrosion. This will help to ensure a long-lasting and reliable electrical connection. Here's an analogy to help further understand the importance of weatherproof connectors. Think of your home's roof as a weatherproof barrier that protects the inside of your house from rain, snow, and other environmental elements. If the roof has leaks or holes, water can seep into the house and cause damage to the walls, floors, and ceilings. Similarly, weatherproof connectors act as a barrier that protects electrical connections from moisture and corrosion. If the connectors are not properly installed or are damaged, moisture can enter the connection and cause short circuits, electrical fires, or other hazards. Just as you would repair a leaky roof to protect your home from water damage, it's important to ensure that weatherproof connectors are properly installed and maintained to protect electrical connections from moisture and corrosion. Here are some specific examples of situations where weatherproof connectors are required by the NEC. Firstly, outdoor lighting fixtures. Weatherproof connectors are required for all electrical connections to outdoor lighting fixtures, such as porch lights, floodlights, and landscape lighting. These fixtures are exposed to rain, snow, and other environmental factors, so it's essential to use connectors that can withstand these conditions. Secondly, swimming pools and spas. Weatherproof connectors are required for all electrical connections to equipment used in swimming pools and spas, such as pumps, heaters, and underwater lights. These areas are inherently wet and humid, so it's crucial to use connectors that are designed to prevent moisture from entering the electrical system. Thirdly, underground wiring. Weatherproof connectors are required for all electrical connections to underground wiring, such as direct burial cables and conduit runs. Underground wiring is exposed to moisture, soil, and other corrosive elements, so it's important to use connectors that can withstand these conditions. Fourthly, marine environments. Weatherproof connectors are required for all electrical connections on boats, docks, and other marine structures. Marine environments are highly corrosive due to the presence of salt water, so it's essential to use connectors that are specifically designed for marine applications. Lastly, agricultural applications. Weatherproof connectors are often required for electrical connections in agricultural settings, such as barns, greenhouses, and irrigation systems. These environments can be exposed to moisture, dust, and other contaminants, so it's important to use connectors that can withstand these conditions. To summarize, the use of weatherproof connectors is crucial for ensuring electrical safety and preventing hazards in a wide range of applications. By following the requirements of the NEC and using high-quality weatherproof connectors, you can protect electrical connections from moisture, corrosion, and other environmental factors, ensuring a reliable and safe electrical system. If you are unsure about the requirements for weatherproof connectors in a particular application, consult with a qualified electrical inspector or contractor to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and standards. In addition to the specific requirements of NEC Section 370.3, there are also general requirements in the NEC that apply to all electrical connections and splices. These requirements are designed to ensure that electrical connections are mechanically sound, electrically conductive, and properly insulated. According to NEC Section 110.14, electrical connections and splices must be made in a manner that ensures a permanent and reliable connection. This means that the connection must be able to withstand the stresses and vibrations that it is likely to be subjected to in normal use. The connection must also be free from any sharp edges or bows that could damage the insulation of the conductors. NEC Section 110.14 also requires that electrical connections and splices be electrically conductive. This means that the connection must provide a low resistance path for the flow of electricity. High resistance connections can cause heat to build up at the connection point, which can lead to insulation damage, arcing, and even electrical fires. Furthermore, NEC Section 110.14 requires that electrical connections and splices be properly insulated. This means that the connection must be insulated with a material that is suitable for the voltage and temperature of the circuit. The insulation must also be protected from damage and deterioration. To ensure compliance with these general requirements, it is important to use high-quality connectors and tools that are designed for the specific application. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully when making electrical connections and splices, and inspect the connections regularly for signs of damage or deterioration. Here are some common mistakes to avoid when working with electrical connectors. Firstly, using the wrong type of connector. It's important to use connectors that are specifically designed for the type of conductor and application. Using the wrong type of connector can result in a poor connection that is not mechanically sound or electrically conductive. Secondly, over-tightening or under-tightening connectors. Over-tightening can damage the connector and compromise its performance, while under-tightening can result in a loose connection that is prone to failure. Always use a torque wrench to tighten connectors to the specified torque. Thirdly, stripping too much insulation. Stripping too much insulation can expose the bare conductor to moisture and corrosion, while stripping too little insulation can result in a poor connection. Use a wire stripper to remove the correct amount of insulation from the conductor. Fourthly, damaging the conductor. Damaging the conductor can weaken the connection and increase the risk of failure. Avoid nicking or cutting the conductor when stripping or preparing it for connection. Lastly, failing to properly insulate the connection. Failing to properly insulate the connection can expose the bare conductor to moisture and corrosion, increasing the risk of electrical shock and fire. Use electrical tape, heat shrink tubing, or other approved insulation materials to properly insulate the connection. Here's a real-world example of how a violation of NEC Section 370.3 can lead to serious consequences. A homeowner installed a new hot tub in their backyard and hired an unlicensed contractor to connect the electrical wiring. The contractor used ordinary household connectors to make the connections to the hot tub's pump and heater. Over time, the connectors corroded due to exposure to moisture and chemicals from the hot tub water. One day, the homeowner was using the hot tub when they felt a tingling sensation in the water. They immediately got out of the hot tub and called an electrician. The electrician discovered that the corroded connectors had created a ground fault, allowing electricity to leak into the water. The electrician replaced the corroded connectors with weatherproof connectors and properly grounded the hot tub, preventing a potentially fatal electrical shock. This example illustrates the importance of using weatherproof connectors in wet locations and hiring qualified electricians to perform electrical work. By following the requirements of the NEC and using high-quality materials, you can prevent electrical hazards and ensure the safety of yourself and others. In conclusion, understanding and complying with NEC Section 370.3 is crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical installations in meter boxes and other outdoor applications. By using weatherproof connectors, following proper installation techniques, and avoiding common mistakes, you can protect electrical connections from moisture, corrosion, and other environmental factors, preventing potential hazards and ensuring a long-lasting and safe electrical system.